Scott. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another, I almost said a down and raw and dirty show. Oh, my God, my head is in. Ooh-wee. My head is
It is where it is.
It is. But hey, Scott, can you believe it's another show? And we've got Katie Poo. We got Kate Gardner with us today. I call her Katie Poo, and which you know that I call her Katie Poo. She's a friend. She's a colleague, and I met her. It feels like 100 years ago, and we've been through thick and thin, and no more thickness and no more thinness, just being. But it's another down and dirty show. We're broadcasting live at boldradiostation.com, and let's bring Katie Poo out. Katie Poo.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi, thank you for having me. Do you know how many people are actually going to come over to my wall after this show airs and go, "Hi, Katie Poo"?
I was getting ready to do it right now, actually.
Well, exactly. But they can come over to the wall and say, "Hey, hi, Katie Poo." But just let everyone know that now I'm in the male dog stance. I'm lifting my leg. That's my territory. Katie Poo, that's my territory. That's me. I can't believe I just said that on the air.
Well, we've said worse, so.
Yeah, got our show last week. Man, Scott, that was amazing. About feminine sexual healing and stuff. And man, oh man, our guest, she was amazing. Kay will love this. Our guest just came right on out, and she just calls the vagina a pussy and wants to be petted. And this is all about sexual healing. Oh my God. But it was a great show. I mean, it was
I literally got a text from my girlfriend at that exact moment that said exactly what she said. If you call it a pussy, if I call it a pussy, you'll pet it. And it just said LOL and a bunch of like crying, laughing faces. So we know people are tuning in, and we know they're reacting to the jokes that are made. So it's good.
But in all seriousness, though, I mean, Pamela wasn't even joking about calling it that. She just
absolutely not.
Yeah, she was just point blank. But it was a great show. And today we've got Miss Katie Poo Gardner. All right, I'm going to be serious. Miss Kate Gardner, who's a very dear friend of mine, who is someone who's very she's so important in my life, and so we're going to talk about like not showing up in business and the lack of integrity and the bullshit we have going on out there in business, and how we all come together, like the three of us, as honest as we can and authentic and transparent and real as we can, to help support people to move through, or just simply say fuck you if you can't show up.
So it's a pet peeve episode is what you're saying. Like I'm shaking over here with excitement.
I know, I love it. Woo, Kate.
Pet peeve episode is good.
I know. So before we jump in, Kate, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, I'm Kim's long-suffering friend. Oh, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. A bit about me. I'm an international publisher. I've published and created an international best-selling book series. I'm launching a magazine in January. I'm a mum of 2 adult children. I'm a grandma. I'm a business owner. I'm an online business owner. And I am a partner to Matthew for 5 years. I have 1 crazy dog called Ben. And life's awesome. Oh, and I also have a great friend called Kim. Somebody might know her. Do you know her, Scott?
I know Kim, but I recently have come to know her as Kimba.
Oh, right. So I have a friend called Kimba as well, and I'm going to be hosting a show with her in the full month of July, well, the majority of July and most of August. So that's coming up. I'm really enjoying that. I have book projects coming out my ears, and no, it's just I'm an online business owner. I'm a mum. I'm a normal human being, and I've been in this online industry for 4 years, and it's been mainly a personal growth journey, growing myself, growing my skills, growing my qualifications. And in that time, what's happened in that time is the results have become bigger, the goals have got bigger. And when anybody says to me, what is the secret of your success? What is it that you do? And it's quite simple. You just work on yourself. Work on yourself, don't bullshit people, work with integrity, work with honesty, and learn to love people purely from your heart and work with people from your heart. And that's basically what I've done. And then it just ended up creating this massive, huge brand that started touching people from all across the world. And all it was just me, being me, doing my thing.
I really like everything that you have said in there, Kate, especially about the cool dog Ben and the cool friend Kim. But hey, I'm a little biased here. But you and I met back in a book in an anthology, and that was what 4 years? Four
Two,
years ago.
yep, 2012.
Yeah. So what are we? 16 now? Yeah, 4 years ago. God, that was 4 years ago, and we became fast friends, and I got to be a part of your journey leading your first anthology, which it was such a struggle to get people to step into that anthology. And it wasn't because you were being fake or hiding. It had a lot to do with your stuff that you were that you were bringing forth, that you were in the process of healing. And it wasn't marketable, so to speak. Let's just get down to business words here.
It was crap marketing. It was
Well,
absolute shite marketing and crap book cover and crap title. And the title just kept attracting the wrong people.
yes.
The
Oh my
marketing
God.
that was coming out of me was obviously projecting from within me, from what was projecting within me, which was not very much confidence, didn't have very many marketing skills or experience. So we was really left in the dark with the publisher that we was with. It was no guidance. It was no helping hand to show you how to sell your projects effectively. It was basically a fumble around in the dark when I'd never sold anything online before. So yes, I failed. I failed dramatically, and I had a whole lot of abuse from certain groups saying that I was just trying to cash in on people's stories, and that was not the truth. I had to move away from that. And I had to change the entire concept of the book, the title of the book, the cover of the book. I had to go back to the drawing board. And then I relaunched it, and then it became a #1 international bestseller. And then it went from there. It just absolutely snowballed and avalanched from there. From one book came 2, 3, 4. We're now on 10, and that was last year, and a calendar as well. And now we're moving into a magazine. So I had to experience a lot of failure to actually get to this point now. So looking back from then to now, I would say if I was me looking at a client's work like that, I would go, oh my God, your marketing needs help. Your message needs help. There's no portrayal of what the mission is or anything like that. All you're trying to do is basically say, buy my shit. And that was what I would actually personally say to a client right then, because I didn't have a clue. And that is why a lot of people, online business owners, fail. And why do they fail? Because the person that's trying to help them become whatever it is they want to be, don't give them the proper guidance. Don't give them step by step ways of showing how to improve stuff and implement into their life. They just want to take money off of people, and they don't want to know. And that was the first situation with my publisher, and that was how I experienced this marketing and this sales kind of thing, where people didn't care. All they want to do was just take your money from you, and you are a one-time customer, and they don't give a shit. And then possibly down the road, they totally don't want to know you anymore, or get rid of you, or if you've got an issue that needs to be overlooked from the time that you hired them, they don't want to know anymore. And that's not working from integrity. So when I actually changed the title of my book, I changed it from Survivor to Thriver to The Missing Piece. Now, The Missing Piece ended up becoming a publishing company. It ended up becoming a full book series, and now it's becoming a magazine. But always what I looked for along this journey is the missing piece. What is the missing piece? It's the missing piece where people don't guide people well enough. They don't treat people with integrity enough. They don't give them love. They don't give them honesty. They don't give them feedback. They don't follow up with them. All of this was missing out of so many services that I'd actually hired people to do over the course of this journey, and I pulled out all of the things that were missing, and I super glued them together and created my company, and here I am now.
Yeah, it's. I was a part of that journey when we arrived to your first book, Survivor to Thriver, and then we went into doing new covers and the missing piece. And you're right, with our current our previous publisher for your books that you led. You did 3 books with that publisher. I did 2. We didn't know at the time the lack of integrity that was taking place there, and Scott, you're going through some transition too as well, some really cool transition in your business as well. And I think we were just stepping into the vibration of the stuff that takes place online. It's a screen. There's so much shit that people can do and say and be to the screen, click off and walk away, and be someone totally different in real life, so to speak, in human being form. And Kate, I think you and I were that was a journey too. We were starting to open up to all of that, and I think for me personally is. And Kate, you helped me evolve to this, is never bow down to man again. I only bow to a higher power. Never bow down to man again, one. And two, man, my boundaries, my boundaries, look, here's my boundaries. Here's how this rocks and rolls. I come out the gate. I let people know it. If you don't like it, fuck you. Go someplace else. I mean, you don't have to do business with me. But here's the boundaries and things like that. And Scott, I know you're going through a little bit of that right now. And I'm telling you, with laying that down, I loved watching some of the responses from people. It was, yay, Scott, you bring so much to the table for this beautiful value and great price. Rock on. And you'll see the ones that won't even come out and say a thing. So
that was something that I found was kind of interesting. It's not something like you and I bash our heads up against integrity every day, be it someone we're working with, potentially a client, potentially someone who we're collaborating with, or even in some cases ourselves, because we notice ourselves slipping with our integrity and we're like, shit, I got to pick up my game. I can't fail this person, or I can't drop the ball on that. And there are times where I've literally submitted things on the last possible minute, but I got it there, and it was good quality stuff. But I'm finding as I got into this, I'm fresh into the business world, especially the online business world. And I've got some great mentors and some great coaches behind me who have fast tracked me. But the one thing they could not prepare me for was how shitty some people could be, and how just not caring about you, not caring about your success, but even worse, not caring about their own success enough.
Yes.
To actually dive in and do what it takes and meet the right people and shake the right hands and do the research and reading. Some people will literally just hire someone based on a promise and not look into them at all. And that is absolutely horribly, horribly done. But what I noticed was that while I was offering most of my services for pennies, I was attracting a certain group of people. Mm-hmm. But then the other day showed me that when I actually started charging dollars instead and offering the same level of service that I have always offered, which is all hours of the day pretty much, as you know, Kim, people actually that I thought were my friends and very honest and forthcoming people backed right off because suddenly they weren't getting everything they wanted for free anymore. But that was one of the things that I had to stop and go, okay, well, how many of these people are actually clapping when I win? How many of these people are actually, out doing business with me out of truly wanting to see me succeed? And how many are out there to just get as much as they can? And so that's kind of one of the interesting things that I ran up against this week.
Yeah. Something, there's always going to be, I think in a pool of 98% of people lacking integrity and honesty and not taking themselves serious, so they're not going to take us serious. And unfortunately, as business owners, we take the hit, we take the loss, and I'm done taking hits and I'm done taking losses. I'm done. I don't believe that we need to. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people are listening. I'm not one to give away shit for free. And something, and Scott, I know you're building your email list and you like to do that. I just, something, I think it's great. I think it's wonderful that we do that. It just is not my cup of tea. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't disregard or disrespect, Kate. And I think I'm not quite sure, Kate, if you've done some opt-ins and things like that in the past.
I have done in the past, and I advise clients on how to do it better. But if they've actually written a book, I always advise them to give that away for free instead as an ebook on their website, because it gets to know them personally and it gets to have a like no trust factor better, because you're getting to read something which they've personally written. But when it comes to creating a 4-part video series or anything like that, I don't advise to do that, because I advise all my clients that this is what's going to happen. You're going to get frustrated. You're not going to be very technical advanced when you start out. You're going to have to spend loads of money to hire a tech guy to tell you a lot of rubbish, and that something that will do in 2.5 seconds will actually take him 2 weeks to do and cost you a whole shitload of money. Then you'll have to find somebody to edit these videos, because you possibly won't know it yourself, or you'll be sat there ripping your hair out for 5 hours a day trying to work it out yourself. And in all this mist of frustration, you're not actually doing what you should be doing in the first place, which is building very great relationships with your following by providing them great content just out there on social media, on posts, in videos, setting up communities, having that trust, like, and factor being built into a relationship where that is going to lead you to people then finding out, being more curious about you and actually wanting to hire you and check out your website. What is not going to really be effectively in your business from the very beginning, if you're just starting out, is farting about with a 4-part video series and then placing it out on social media. And then what's going to happen is you're going to lead a group of people that just want everything for free. They're going to sign up to you. You're probably going to have to do a 16 email campaign to these people. And in the meantime, just keep your fingers crossed and hope that they buy from you. Well, that's not the way to do it. The way is relationships. Be in a community with people, people that are following your page, highly target them through Facebook ads, and then give them great content, give them great videos. I mean, Facebook is on live video stream now. You just click one button and you're live to the world. Give them something like that, because a lot of people have a fear of being on video or have a fear about giving their shit away. They're like, oh, I ain't giving that much shit away. I ain't giving that away. No, this is how it is. Give rich content, give people solutions. Give them solutions in their life, because what you should be selling to is that relief experience for the customer. Nothing else. You shouldn't be saying, I'm going to promise you a 6-figure business in 90 days. Don't tell me that bullshit. It don't work, right? People are sick of seeing it. What they really want is for them to feel relieved at the fact that you've solved a problem. So if you placed a post out there or a video out there or a blog post and say, right, you don't have very many likes on your Facebook page right now. I'm going to record my screen. I'm going to show you exactly how to target your market in 5 minutes with a Facebook ad. Here you go. I tell you what, they'll be checking you out and be wanting to hire you more if you do that, rather than give them a 4-part video series and fill their email box with 100 emails and then try and commit that relationship. Not going to work. Do it the other way. They'll love you forever, because you're trying to sell to that relief experience.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
it's
funny that you bring up the email. Sorry, but Kim, I don't know if you're part of my email list. I'm not sure at all.
No,
but,
I'm not, because I'm your big sister and you keep me out of all that, you know?
Yeah, it's weird that I do that, but no, with the email list, I just don't think I openly invited you yet, but it's literally just a place where I bitch. I get on there and I bitch once a day about something that's good, that I've seen either someone marketed something improperly, or someone gave me like really bad feedback, or someone and I'll get in there and I'll bitch and I'll say, like, one of my emails was literally called Popping the Question, and in brackets, engagement. And I went on to say that building a podcast following is like a marriage. You've got to care, you've got to engage, you've got to build relationships with people, and so I'm kind of giving people tidbits and stuff, but mostly I get on there as a creative outlet. I don't care if I sell anything through my email list. That might sell horrible. But the one thing that I have been doing with my email list is, like, people are in my online community, the Podcast Discovery Center. And if they share a marketing tip that I find interesting as hell, I'll jump in and I'll share that tip with my email list as well, because it's different groups of people. And I've noticed that there's been a cross pattern of people going place to place. And that resulted in a sale for me, because one guy came in and he said, man, I really need some help on the email front, and I love what you do. Can you help me out with it? And he's like, oh, I'll pay you your consulting fee and all that stuff. So you're right. Once you actually step up what you're doing, people not only pay attention to what you post, but sometimes they pay attention to how you post it. And if they need help with that avenue, they'll hire you to do that too. And if you want to do that and you like doing that, cash in on what you're good at. Like,
I agree. You guys, I want to redirect this, if I can, for a second. I want to bring this back around to the integrity and the lack of, and the commitment, honesty piece here for a minute, because, you know, people sit there and say, "Oh no, I have integrity," but my question is, then if you have integrity, then why are you breaking a contract and refusing the pay? Why are you
showing
not?
up.
Why are you not showing up in the way that when you signed a contract and made the commitment? What's going on here? And I know we live in a shiny, flashy nickel. Woo, I can't talk. I need some food. Nickel society here, and that high wears off. And I mean freaking quick. And I mean really, really, really quick. It's like, what's going down here? Are we bored? I mean, what's going on? Is there fear? And by the way, because I did bring up that F word, fear. Fear is not a bad emotion. We don't have good or bad emotions. We just have emotions. It's just what we play into it, and it's what we own when they're just emotions, So I want to talk a little bit more about like that, that integrity piece, because Kate is going to be co-hosting with me next month for my radio show. We're going to go into the first half of August as well, and we're going to be touching base on a lot of that, because I see so many people show up and say, "Oh, I have integrity. I'm honest. I'm this. I'm that." Okay, can you just stop talking about it, and can can that be a part of your human beingness? Why do you gotta? It's like, I always say this. It's like walking in the room and I shake your hand, Scott. Which, if I did walk in the room and see you, I wouldn't shake your hand. I'd give you hugs and kisses all over your face.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah, but it would be like shaking your hand, going, "Hi, I'm spiritual." It's like, really?
Well,
you got to tell people that? Come on.
I'm not sure what it's like in the publishing sector, but I know in the podcasting sector, it's a lot of people saying they're going to do something and dropping the ball, and then emailing you back, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then dropping the ball and emailing you back. And I've been guilty of it myself. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a shining example of king shit. Like, I'm not. I have dropped the ball myself. But what I'm noticing is, like, there are hosts out there who invite you onto their show and then miss the window completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's it like in the what's it like in the publishing sector, Kate? I can't even speak either, Kim. It's
okay, let's just mute our microphones. Let Kate will just go ahead. Go ahead, Kate.
What's it like in the publishing? Exactly the same. It doesn't matter what business you are in, you will find a whole bunch of people want to do something, but very little will actually take action to do it. I can have messages flood my inbox from people and say, "I want to write a book, but I don't know how to do it. I want to have a bestseller. I want to have a book series like you've had." I'm like, "Okay, great. Well, let's set up a consultation call and see if we're good with each other to work with each other. And I'll run you through what it actually takes." We don't hear it back. I don't hear back from them, or I will have probably about 5 minutes before the call's about to take place, and I will get, "Oh, I can't make it. So my dog died, or my cousin got sick, or my auntie's budgie is ill, or something like that." And I'd be like, "All right, here we go again." It's like, don't waste my time. And that is what actually made me ill at one point, because I was giving myself too much, bowing down too much, giving away too much at the end of last year, that I got so sick that I had to take 5 months off work. Why? Because I was giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and giving myself too much. So I took all 5 months out. I thought, right, I need to heal. I need to heal in myself. I need to get my shit together, and I need to realize exactly what's going on and why is this creating this. And it was me giving myself away. It was me giving my power away too much. And then I learned one of the massive spiritual laws, which smacked me right around the face one day. And I actually shared it with Kim as well. And it was actually read in the Bible. And it says, "Bow to nobody but your creator." You bow to nobody, bow to no man. And I read that, and it had a huge effect upon me. I was thinking, shit, man, this is it. And what I have been doing is I have been bowing to every man, and I have been over-delivering. And every time that they've said, "Oh, okay, I can't make it this time," like the third time they can't make it, I've been going, "Okay, then I'll rebook you in." No. So I changed my entire concept of my business, and it was either step up or go home. I'm done. I ain't putting up with this crap no more. So I changed my entire concept, changed all my agreements, changed all my contracts, and then I presented myself as the expert, because at the end of the day, I'm stood here with a 10-book series, which has been on the bestsellers list. 2 solo books have been on the bestsellers list, a best-selling calendar, and now I'm about to produce a magazine. Now, I've got all my experience and all my sales and all my marketing, so I could walk away from you right now, who's not actually come to the call again 3 times to publish their first book, or I can sit here and give away my power to you some more. What am I going to do? Let me think about that for a minute. I'm going to go walk away and have pride in myself and be the expert that I am, and then I'll find somebody else who will hire me, who will pay me, who will take the action, and they'll have a great life. So that's how I actually see things from now on. It's like, do not bow to nobody. Do not bow to anyone. You are an expert. You got to where you are right now because you invested in yourself. You actually took the time to actually learn what you do. So you have a position right now where you can choose whether you want to bow down to someone and over-deliver yourself and be ill, or actually go on and up-leverage and be the expert that you possibly are by not doing exactly what I did last year. And it was a massive lesson learned. And now it's like, I won't tolerate it. It's like, if you don't do the work, get out on my face, because I don't want no excuses.
You
So
know,
that's fine.
I'm still with you there, Kate. You know, it's again, whatever is holding that person back, I want to know what brought that person to the first initial, oh, I want my book, or I want my radio show, or I want my podcast. I just covered all 3 of our environments here. It's what is that first initial I want? And then when they get down to the phone call and actually taking the second step, because the first step is saying, I want, and this is when I want to move forward. And so I better contact the experts that have been doing this in this arena. It's like, what is happening? It's like, what happens? I just think there's just so much lack of integrity in this society today.
It's fear. It's fear.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's fear. I think it's the cost involved. Either the cost is too high in the effort realm, the courage realm, or the financial realm, and they won't bridge that gap. That would be my understanding.
I think it's a laziness realm. I really do. I think when it comes down to it, because again, a word is a word is a word is a word. And, think of WORK, work, what's attached to that word work. And when it comes down to it, do people really want to jump in there and work hard,
But I think fear has a lot to do with it as well.
But
Yeah,
I think I think that word, that 4-letter word, fear, is attached to a lot of things, a lot of decisions, a lot of everything. Quite frankly, I mean, we are in a fear-based society, and it's getting progressively worse. Progressively worse.
Well, it comes down to 3 things: fear, not taking responsibility, and wanting success without the work. That is the 3 main factors. It's what I have to deal on a daily basis. When I've changed so many people's mindset over that, excuse me, it's all down to them 3 factors.
I like the not taking responsibility one, because that's the one we face quite a bit when people don't show up and don't adhere to their stuff. But the wanting all the success without the effort, that's the one that I see the most. That's what gets people, deterred from me, because there is effort in starting and maintaining a show. And people start to realize it around week 2, and they disappear for a while. And they're like, oh no. And they get scared of being behind the mic, so they get scared of the things they don't know, like the uploading or what have you, when they don't realize that they have an expert right there sitting beside them. And I have to tell them this, that anything you need, anything you don't know, don't understand, just ask me, because I can't guess. And some people are even just afraid to ask the questions. And that to me is just baffling. Like, if you don't know something, don't let fear hold you back. Ask.
Well, be curious. Stay curious. I'm going to jump in there, Scott. Stay curious is because, you're saying ask, not ask. It's ASK, ask. Just ask, and just simply say, I'm unclear right now in this moment, and I'm not quite sure what needs to be next. Can you help? And there's the ask. And you're not surrendering and giving your power away, and being that victim. My big thing is, and I'm going to pick on women for a multitude of reasons, because first of all, I'm a woman, number 1, and number 2, I work mainly with women, is I'm to a point, and don't get me wrong, because men do this too, because I had this earlier into the year with a couple men as well, is, when they break a commitment, then you come back around and you hold them to that commitment. And I believe in firm and factual. I'm a double F girl. Firm, facts, remove the emotion. F plus F equals RE. Firm and factual equals remove emotion. And move forward and keep it a win-together situation in business. But here's what I can't take anymore, or I don't even know how to respond to this anymore. And I didn't say react. I said respond is... Oh, hi, it's like Kate, you're starting to say, oh, yeah, I couldn't call you because my dog died and then I got sick and then, oh, my husband has this and my partner's this and, oh, my kid is. It's like, oh, really? Do you not fucking think that we don't have lives too? But you don't see us puking and projecting that all over the goddamn place, I mean, I went through losing dogs. I've have dogs. I lost a dog a year ago. The day I lost the dog a year ago, I held a team meeting. I showed up. I wasn't on my A game, but I showed up. It's showing up. And we all have life shit. I mean, Scott, you've got things going on and you're trying to make transitions. And Kate, you're a grandma and a mom and a partner and you've got, doggies and you just, God forbid, lost your kitty cat, which was horribly sudden. And we all have that. I have aging parents. I'm dealing with a father that has dementia. I have aging parents. I have that. I've had scares with my husband's health. I have that. I've had things with my health, but I don't sit there and go, oh, I can't make payment to you because my dog just diarrheaed all over the house and I got a toilet back up and oh my God, because I'm a victim and I'm a wimp. Oh my God. I like that new word. I forget about that word wimp. I'm going to start using that word wimp.
It just goes to show when that happens, that there is the result of showing how much they truly want it.
And then just shows how they function in their life and what's going on in their business, aka there probably isn't much of a business going on there.
Mm-hmm. It's a wannabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call them entrepreneurs. Yeah, they want to be, but they're not willing to put the work in. And I've had the opposite situation actually happen too, Kim. And this was a weird one. And Kate, and I don't know if either of you have ever experienced this. I'm sure you have, but where someone literally puts in all the work from A to B, but you cut them a break because you wanted to work with them and they inspired you and stuff. So you cut them a break on the price, not a discount, but you're like, hey, listen, I'm not a greedy guy. Let's do installments. And then they skip out on the last payment for months and dodge you as if they don't notice that you can actually see the little bubble in the Facebook window that you read their message and they read yours.
Yeah, hello.
And they're not replying and you're just like, man, I can see that you read this stuff. Avoidance is a reaction. I get it, but have the integrity to at least tell me when I'm getting paid or what's going on in your life that you can't pay me, or I'm opening the door to an explanation at least, and they just dodge you for months. That makes me giggle a little bit. It's an interesting behavior I didn't know happened with adults. I thought that only happened to kids who screwed up.
Oh yeah, exactly. We have to lead. We have to change things up, and it's just look. I get that we blow out a tire or two driving down, especially if you live in Michigan. Our roads are horrible right now. And you get an unforeseen obstacle come your way, an unforeseen bill, an unforeseen finance. Scott, you just had some car problems. That's shit we can't plan. We can't budget that into our lives. We can't, we just replaced our water heater. Okay, well, the water heater is only 11 years old. Okay, really, we have things like that happens. And so, so maybe finances get a little tight and you got to put off a payment for 2 weeks. But fucking speak. Oh my God, the voice is so freaking powerful. We can either heal or harm through the voice. Speak and make it a choice. And I hope you heal as opposed to harm and just speak up and simply say, man, you know what? Hey, I don't want to go into any details here. I can't pay the bill right now, but I can have it for you in 2 weeks. Do you mind? And you know what? I have never, ever said no in a situation like that to anybody. I've never said no when they've come forefront like that and speak up.
So I have a question for you, Kate. We're talking about, pet peeves. We're talking about this whole integrity and being dodged and having excuses made. What was the single best thing you did in your business to actually I guess, pick up on and start working with people of integrity? You mentioned like screening processes, like consultation calls, that you feel that was something that sorted out the girls from the women and the men from the boys?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely. You can, if you're face to face with somebody on a Skype call, you get it. You know, you're seeing if they're serious. You're really understanding their body language. You can get into that energy. You're feeling it. You instantly know. And as you're doing it over time, you'd rather spend 30 minutes of your time to just jump on a call with somebody, really see if they're the real deal, and then move forward. And plus, it makes it more personal as well. So you're kind of getting an idea of what you're going to be working with, what their overall mission is. And if you ask them questions and say, what is your overall goal and what is your why behind this? It's the questions that you ask on that consultation call that will lead you to know if you're going to work with this person or not. And you just ask them, what is the, like in my case, it's what is your mission for the book and what is your why behind it? So them words and them questions, they've got to sit there and they've got to give me the answer that I'm going to know that's coming from integrity or not. Or just coming from a place that, I just want to be famous, or I just want to have more followers,
I'm going to be like Oprah Winfrey, yeah.
So
I want to be $1 million podcaster.
So it's because instantly you know that if that person is doing it for the money will come up. Revenue will come up. I have this several times with mine. It's always, what are the royalties going to be? What is the money in it? That becomes before the why and the mission. And if that becomes before the why and the mission, then you know damn well that you're like, okay, maybe we're not great to work together. So it's getting that feel in that 30-minute call because you're face to face. And if you're asking the why behind it and the mission behind it, they've got nowhere to hide. They're in front of you right there, right now. So they're going to tell you and you're going to really feel it and you're going to really listen to them and you're going to gel with it or you're not going to gel with it. So that's my way of doing it. I would definitely put a barrier between you and yourself just by having that 30-minute chat or whatever, because in that 30-minute chat, you get to answer 2 great questions that will give you the answer whether this is the real deal or not.
Something, I agree with you. The vetting process, the interviewing process is very, very, very important. And what did I hear? I can't even think off the top of my head last week. Someone was saying it, and one of their vetting processes is they ask the question is, how's your family life right now? What is going on in your family life right now that would maybe trip you up, hold you back to moving forward? And I'll tell you what, that's not a bad idea, asking that question.
No, I can honestly say that like it's a gray zone. I can see why some people wouldn't, but also like I have had clients literally become injured or ill while I'm working with them and have to be hospitalized, and I have no idea where they are and things like that. That is kind of a sudden situation. But with, for instance, if you've got a surgery scheduled, or because I've got a client right now, his wife is ill. And he knows he's got to travel, and he knows he's got to do those things. So right on our first call, he discussed that with me and then said, is that going to conflict with us working together? And all I told him is that the only thing that's going to affect is when you launch. And so we were able to get through that. And that's because he disclosed to me family issues. So yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. But at the same time, I could see why some people might shy away from it.
It depends what you're comfortable with doing.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So, I mean, with me, it's with the publishing side, with a book, the book's got a mission. You don't just write a book and go, it's okay, I'm just going to write a book and I'm going to write it on anything. That book is going to state a purpose. It's got a mission. And then there's your why behind it, your passion behind it that's going to push that mission. So for me, it's getting to the main goals first. I want to know. I want to know because then I'm going to know how dedicated that person is and how much they're actually going to put into this book, because it's going to tell me how much they're going to push their mission with their why. So that's the first thing that I go for, is them 2 questions.
Nice. I like that. Kim, what do you do to screen in your business for your radio hosts?
It's, it varies from person to person. If we have an experienced radio host coming in from another platform, that whole vetting process is completely different. If we have a complete brand new newbie, we really tear them apart. How much time are you willing to put into this? Even though we do a lot of the work, I want to know what your why is and how do you see this fitting into your business? Because this is part of our leg to our business. And we are going to start implementing the question of, what's going on in your family life that could trip you up or hold you back. And I'm not saying the unforeseen stuff because we all have, like we were saying, aging parents and things like that, but like really what truly is going on in your family life, because we do have people that show up one day and then 90 days later they can't make payments. They're broke. And it's like, okay, listen, that has been going on before you entered this contractual agreement. That has been going on. This is not something new. So just shy. I've gotten to a point where I want to ask for the bank statement, which I will not do. I will not go down that route as a business owner. I will not, because I'm not giving a car loan or a mortgage loan. But so the vetting process is different depending upon the type of host that we have coming in. We try to really get across to the new hosts that this is work. I mean, when you have a radio show, this is work, but you can systematize the process so it doesn't eat you up alive. And this is not a get-rich-quick, overnight Oprah Winfrey sensation. So I'm going to swing back around to Kate. Kate is going to be she's my first co-host. I'm doing a co-host launch and having people co-host with me on my Monday show. Scott and you are co-hosts in concrete here on the Wednesday show. But Kate stepped right on in. First of all, because I crave doing partnerships with Kate. Ever since I've met Kate and I have gotten to know each other, we have talked about numerous things of partnering up together. We have talked about doing books together. So hence this year, I was going to do my third collaboration, and her and I are like, never say never. And I'm like, oh, damn, I know. And then I'm like, was going to pull it back. And then I said, why don't we partner up together and simplify this? So we're partnering up in a book. We're going to partner up where she's co-hosting on a show with me. But you know what what I really love about Kate is I asked her, I barely finished my question. She goes, whatever you need, I'm there. And she doesn't make it about herself, because I have hosts, the co-hosts have to fill out an application. Why do you want to co-host with Kim Smith on Monday? And I love reading that. It'll help my platform, it'll help me. And it's like, but okay, I get that. And yeah, that is part of the reason. But what about our listeners? What about the collaboration and the partnership and all that stuff,
Yeah, I'm going to interject real quick and just say, well, first of all, I heard Kate say right at the beginning in the pre-call that everything is about her all the time, and we've forgotten that.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm getting mixed signals.
I know it is. It's always about Kate all the time. I'm just trying to
don't forget it.
Anything you need, Kim, but it's all about me.
Yes.
No, but one of the things that I wanted to mention was, like, when you asked me if I'd want to do this show and get on this show, and you asked, like, why would I want to, like, what would be my goal? I was like, it'd be nice to have a platform that I could get on and just open up and talk shit. Mm-hmm. Like, just actually be my full self, not have to worry about what's going on elsewhere, because my other ventures have usually been in, like, middle schools and high schools and things like that, where you have to censor yourself, you have to watch your language, you have to. So jumping into the broadcasting world, I was somewhere caught between who I wanted to be and who I was told I needed to be. And then when we got out here and you invited me onto the show, it was a chance to just let loose and open up and find my actual business self. But what I've noticed that helped with was actually my integrity out there. The fact that I could just show up as me, not be afraid of the process, not be afraid of the people, just get in and, like you guys said, not bow down, and actually just get in with, even though they're doing better than you, maybe financially, maybe on the success route, doesn't mean that you have to be afraid of them, and doesn't mean you have to make any kind of commitments out of fear or hold off on your commitments because of fear. Just get in there, show up, and do the work. And that's part of the issue I'm noticing with, like, the live radio and the podcasting thing, and I'm guessing the publishing thing too, is, one, they underestimate the work because maybe they have a romantic view of it. But two, once they make the commitment, something snags them up along the way. Maybe they don't think their content's good enough. Maybe they don't think. But there's always a snag that's completely based out of fear that stops them from showing up and being who they actually are.
Scott, I think what you just said was priceless about the romance of having a podcast or putting out there a book or a radio show. I think it's the romance of owning a business. These people think, not these people, a lot of people think that I'm going to own a business and I'm going to be a CEO of a company and I'm going to be great and out there and well known and blah, 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 blah. And you know something? I'll tell you what. There's times, and Kate and I have had offline conversations, off this grid conversations, go, fuck this shit. I'm done. Are you kidding me? I'm getting ready to go back to work for someone else. Let them worry about the payroll. Let them worry about the marketing. Let them worry about when the next dollar is going to come from. You know what I'm saying? It's not all pretty. I mean, and I think social media really, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors involved there, with making it look like they're owning a business, and and having all this stuff is easy, and we'll snap my fingers and I'm going to be famous in 6 figures in 90 days and I'm going to be popular, and with that being said, yeah, Oprah Winfrey is Oprah Winfrey and she's huge, but she didn't start to where she's at today. She has evolved and grown there, and she just came off her didn't just, but she, stopped her talk show several years ago and launched that OWN own network, her Oprah Winfrey Network, and she stumbled on that. As infamous and huge and big and famous as she is, there was a huge stumbling piece there for that as well. So it's not all ups and downs. There's ebb and flows. It's not all life. Life is like a box of chocolate. Life is a box of chocolates. It's not like that.
And I feel like Kate, I would love to have you weigh in on this, but do you feel like the romance is what attracts people to the book more so than the actual mission?
Yeah, definitely. It's because they know that I've made 120 people best-selling authors. They think that everybody can be a best-selling author, and it isn't. I've helped the ones that worked for that did everything that I said. They implemented, they did the work, they showed up, and they contributed absolutely everything to it that they needed to contribute by the deadline to make it happen. It's kind of like they show up going, I'm next. And then I'm just like, I pull them back down to earth and go, right, this is what is going to need to be done by you. This, and that. You have to go out and sell your project right now and convince people that you're going to sign up to this and you're going to help them build their platforms as well. And then that's when they don't like it because the reality sinks in. And they're like, oh my God, I can work. I've got to go sell to people. Yeah.
Informed pessimism.
And it's like, I can only tell you what to do. I can't do it for you. So I can tell you and advise you and you implement and it works, or we can sit here all day and I'll just keep telling you and you don't implement and it don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Implementation is huge, and that's one of the things that has been hitting me this week. Is I took on 3 different tasks. One is completely scheduling based, like going out and finding people and asking them questions. And then I have my own shows that I've been doing for a while. And then I just took on an online course. And if I drop the ball at implementing or saying what I wanted to do or reaching deadlines or any of this stuff, it's on my mind all the time. You've really got to break down and systematize and make sure that you're going to get this stuff done. Otherwise, it'll be the time you blew your shot at a best-selling book, or you blew your shot at an online course, or you blew your shot at getting on that big show. So you really have to, if you say you want to do something, bring your A game or just don't show up.
And that, with all that being said, actually, we're getting here near to the top of the hour for our show. And Kate, we want you to let everyone know how to get in touch with you. But before we do that, so you become, Kate, and you and I are not just international bestsellers. We are #1 international bestsellers. And one of your books that you're led and one of the books that I led, that you and I are both in each other's books. But, so what? What comes after that? So you got the title. What comes after that? I mean, there's work to be done after that. So what? You're a radio show host or a radio personality. There's work to be had after that. And so what? You're an amazing podcast host. There's work to be done after that. You don't just arrive to this title and it's all glitz and glamour. I mean, look at one of my favorites, Howard Stern. I mean, how many years into the shock jock and interviewing that he is? 30 years into this, and there's still work to be done. And I think that's what people don't get. They don't get, until they get into it, and then they're like all freak out, and it's like, oh, this is just too much, and I mean, they have their thoughts are convoluted about their commitments.
Yeah, they don't see the work and the experience and the years and the blood and the sweat and the tears that go into it. They'll just automatically come out to this world, see how glamorous the coaching side is, or the author side, or whatever side, and they will think, I want to be like that. And they don't take that into consideration that maybe that person's worked 5, 15, 20, 25 years to get to that status, to be able to call themselves a millionaire, or to be able to showcase that much and charge like 10 grand per person on their courses because they've earned it. They can actually tell you and sit there and guide you through absolutely everything that you need to do, from the good stuff to the bad stuff, and give you a no bullshit upfront experience of their journey and show you how to do it the right way. Or, you could go hire somebody else who's pretending that they know something, and then you could have failure at the end of it. It's all that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kate, where can everyone get in touch with you at?
They can go to my website at www.themissingpiecepublishing.com, or you can find me on Facebook under Kate Gardner, Kategardner. I have a page, I have a profile. You can contact me direct because it is only me that answers my website and answers my social media.
Awesome. And
Beautiful. I love that.
it's Kate Gardner, not Katie Poo. That's my nickname for her.
So I got to ask before we let this go, why handle your own social media? I know why I like to do it, and I'd rather not ever outsource that, but is there a particular reason why you handle that?
Yeah, to have a personal relationship. Because nobody can answer the solution for their problem better than I can. So if I had to put that through an assistant, I used to do that quite a few years ago. I had a personal assistant, and it was just diluting myself, and she was just coming back to me and asking me the questions and then diluting it to the next person, or it would not come across from me to her as communicatively as effective as I do. So in the end, I just scrapped it all, and I thought, right, talk to me. Talk direct to me. I can sort out your issue, and I can see if I can sort it out, or we can move forward to a call, or I'm going to know when I'm available, so I'll be able to tell you if I can book you in. So it's kind of like building that relationship from the very start. Be personal. Be there for people to get hold of you. Don't have an army of people in front of you. Oh, well, you have to talk to my assistant. No.
And that's what I love about the difference between the online business versus the corporate structures. The corporate structure, you have to jump through 15 people before you talk to the one you want. Whereas on online business, you can literally send out a message to your favorite marketer, and 9 times out of 10, it's them handling the message back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I love that.
Yep, I do too. Hey, Kate, hey, my Katie Poo. It's great to have you here with us down and dirty with Kim and Scott today. We really appreciate that. And I'm excited. July and going into August, I get you weekly on my show. La,
I know,
la, la.
right? And you know what that's going to be about, don't you? Me!
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Okay, I just laughed so hard. Yeah, okay. So, God, thanks so much for stepping up, Kate, and jumping on in and talking about, integrity and the publishing and, all the stuff that goes along with everything. I mean, there's so much shit that goes along with being a business owner. And, I'm we can't just wake up and say, oh, I got my period today and I can't, I just can't, I can't do it. It's like, okay, take care of yourself, take some ibuprofen, whatever, and step up to the game and swing the bat. Come on, let's go. So thanks for sharing a lot of the stuff today. And Scott, oh my God. My baby brother, Scott, the wisdom that you have is just amazing. You blow me away at such a young age, the wisdom
I just
you have.
throw myself at a lot of concrete walls and tell people that it doesn't work. That's kind of my message.
That's the entire journey, isn't it? It's like we put ourselves to the slaughter and then we come back and go, that didn't work. Oh, we just keep hitting it and we go, I wouldn't do it that way because that didn't work. I've learned. It's just we keep getting back up and we keep doing it and we keep pressing it. So thank you so
many
much.
People are afraid to put themselves through it, and that's why that's what, in my opinion, makes a leader.
Yep.
Someone who takes the hit so that someone else doesn't have to, and they can come back and educate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. We lead by an example. Whether no one's listening to us in that moment, we still lead by an example. Sometimes it's crickets in the room, and sometimes there's not crickets in the room, but we just keep going, and just keep leading by an example. So, Kate, if you wouldn't mind sitting tight, Scott and I are going to quickly wrap up the show, and we'll swing back around and we'll come have a cocktail with you in the Bold Radio Station green room. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. Hey, Scott, another down and dirty show. And
another down and dirty.
Another down and dirty, raw and real. Mm-hmm,
We've been keeping them so clean lately, though.
I know, there's something going on with us. There really is. There's something going on with us.
Just not angry enough anymore, I don't think.
Shit, that's it. I'm going to come and throw you into a brick wall, and then it'll get you going.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll find a topic soon that gets me revved up.
I know, exactly. So be sure to join us right back here at Bold Radio Station. Scott and I, down and dirty, same time, same place next week, and everyone get on out there. You know what? Be freaking real. What the hell? My favorite quote, and I changed the words up a little bit. Be you, everyone else is taken. Oscar Wilde says, be yourself. I say, be you, everyone else is taken. I mean, who else do you want to be? I mean, shit, just get out there, be real, stand on up. Sometimes it's painful and sometimes it's not. Just do it. So make it a great day, everybody.